Hey everybody, it's me Robert here for another Redneck Review, and today we are going to be finally, after I know it's been 2 weeks since I put that first one out there, going back over Transformers: The War for Cybertron Part 2. Now, when we last left off, we found that Optimus Prime had just received the Matrix, and we got to know the other side of that coin, Megatron, a little bit better, and we find him here in the Decepticon capital of Kaon. Here's a little bit of the words he's going on there. We find him here with Soundwave and Starscream, his right-hand lieutenants. If only he could have known what a dark smear his death would leave on the history logs of Cybertron. Would he, I wonder, have been so quick to accept our bribes to turn a blind eye? He's talking, of course, about Megatron's talking about Sentinel Prime, the former Prime before Megatron. If he could see now all the how he unwittingly set into motion the Amorite's greed was the opportunity. His death super. The beginning and now the end. He tells him, "We await your command, Lord Megatron." And Starscream goes, "What now?" Laserbeak replay aerial recon file V6.2. Perhaps our suddenly glorious leader was too busy to pontificate or grasp the significance. And we see they've recovered images where they're building an ark. So just like in the original, just like the original plan from the game was, he's going to leave the planet to the Decepticons. And Megatron doesn't like this at all. Look, Starscream goes, "Look, the Autobots are all packed up and ready to run. And what you're just going to let them go? I thought the idea was to wipe them out." Starscream, "Understand this. You are a blunt instrument," Megatron tells him, "to be delivered with direction and force. In this capacity you have a few peers, but please, leave the thanking to me." So, I think that is where it all starts, guys. The wanted and unwitting disrespect for Starscream, and why Starscream hates Megatron so much. Well, it doesn't hate him, he just wants to be him. True, I never expected this new Prime would have... Megatron says, "I never expected this new Prime would have sheer brass to order a planet-wide evacuation, but trust me, they're not going anywhere." So, I mean, Megatron is ready to just go in there and take it out. I mean, to me, I think Megatron is on the outer tier of just on the verge of one of the greatest villains of all time. He is so brutal, and he is so just so uncaring that he is just an awesome villain. Let me put it that way. The tentacular power that he has over everyone is just crazy. And when Megatron comes on the field, you're in for a fight. Well, anyway, with the story shifts back to the construction of the Ark, we have Hound, Air Raid, and a few of them just going over here and putting pieces on the Ark. Back it up, good, okay. That's one at capacity. Move it along. And we find Hound and Ironhide going. I tell you, Ironhide, I never thought I'd see the day. Me either. It's just, I don't know, wrong. This is our world, Hound. Our home. We can't just up and go. What can we do? We both swore an oath of allegiance. So they're worried about what they can do about staying true to Optimus. Staying true to the Prime. Their leader, their president. And they want to say something, but they can't. And it's just one of those... Obviously, this is a bad move. I mean, where would we be if George Washington had decided that when he became the general of the colonial forces, that it wasn't worth it? That the idea of fighting for what is ours, not fighting unjustly, just fighting for what's right. So this, like I said, I love this story about Optimus Prime, but it shakes my faith in a little bit. Some of it, and that's what a good story does. And we see how in talking to Grimlock it's just that, well, the Prime is new, and what if he not up to job? Grimlock says, and they're trying to preserve the intelligence about it. But I like Grimlock with a little bit of intelligence. He tells him, what if he's not up to the job? We all think it, right? Years we fight and die, and for what? To run, hide. This slap in the face for all those who died for cause, for all those still willing to carry out. Grimlock. In fact, I'm not going to stand for it. Time for another plan, maybe even another leader. So this is where they take the story a little bit different than you see in the actual cartoon with Grimlock, where he was always sort of disobedient, but this one he's actually planning to take over, and I love that part. I'm hoping when June 27th gets here, they'll have some of that in the new Transformers movie, because we saw at the Super Bowl, at that horrible Super Bowl in 2014, that we were going to get a Grimlock, so I can't wait. But anyway, we see this, and Grimlock is ready to pound his way through and take command of the Autobots. And sometimes I wish they'd done a story where he actually did. Well, anyway, we have we move here to Kulagar, and we see some of the Kaon that get moving around, preparing to leave. Looks like it's getting ready to eject from the planet. Megatron gives orders. Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp have been dispatched to Sector 06, Lord Megatron. This is Soundwave giving Megatron an update. Good. The command post there is of little tactical importance, but it is important for the moment to maintain an illusion of business as usual. And of course, it keeps Starscream occupied, while I concern myself with the little matters. See right there. Okay. And we have him working on, it looks like a central generator for the entire planet, guys, of turning Cybertron into a cosmic dreadnought. So Megatron's ultimate goal for right now is to turn the entire planet into basically a spaceship that he can carry his army and conquer the galaxy. He's giving orders to the Constructicons to make this happen. While back still on Iacon, the High Council Pavilions, the Tower of Pion, Optimus goes, how goes the evacuation? We find out what Optimus is saying in all this. As well as can be expected given the logistics, the time scale, the general lack of motivation. This is not a popular decision, you know that, right? Prowl tells him. A lot of voices raised in opposition. Tell me, Prowl, is yours one of them, he says. And he turns away from him. This picture right here in the middle. He says, if we stay and fight, Cybertron will become a wasteland. There can be no winners. Here we have to let it go. Before I became Prime, I was a simple statistician, a collector of data across columns and spreadsheets. I admit I attituded the sum total of war, made the only possible projection. Based on what? An equation, a decision like that has to come from here. And he points to his chest. And I love that. I absolutely love that part. It just makes me love Transformers more. You have to look within, Prime. I get it, within, war within. And the tower. And all of a sudden there's something that attacks the tower. Virusing the Icon, and all because the tower. No, the planet itself, something. Icon, suborbital district, a form of enlightenment. Huge blast hits the planet, basically cutting off everyone. Grimlock is down here in the middle. He gets cut off from everyone. And we see Megatron down, getting ready to make his move. As the ultimate realization of our primary agenda is at hand. Fitting then that it too began underground, hidden, wrapped in a gulag, a subterfuge. Such is the Decepticon way. The combats we once staged in our arenas masked the gathering, the harvest of like minds. The weak were weaned out. The doubters silenced, and when we were at optimum strength, we struck fast, direct mercilessly. War was upon them in a stunned instant, but the subjugation of Cybertron was merely a feint, a distraction, to mask the work here, work that is now almost complete. Soon he will come, and you will be waiting. So, he's telling him basically, yeah, I'm going to have a final battle with this new Prime, and I'm going to beat him. And Megatron's giving this speech, you know, like rallying his troops to battle. And Optimus and most of his subordinates come in and are down trying to find out what's going on. He goes, Ratchet, I'm reading nothing, no life signs within the entire radius of the blast area. They're all gone. How many, Red Alert? The locator feed is still coming in. A lot. So, this decision Optimus made has cost him, I don't know how many lives at this point. Optimus goes, what happened? This goes way down right into the guts of the planet. Some kind of gas pocket, an old reactor our scans never picked up, or it wasn't an accident at all. One of the people still alive goes, no. And Optimus goes, no, it wasn't. This is awesome art too, by the way. The seeds of destruction have already been sown under your feet. He was remembering what the assassin said to him when he took on the office of Prime. He did this. Megatron did this. What? How do you know that? I just know. I can't explain. He did this. He did all this to get my attention. And Optimus nobly descends in the depths to try and fight back at Megatron. He goes, all of a sudden when he's in here, he's going to go down here on his own. He's, at least if he's going to make this decision, he's willing to go down there alone and fight this war. So Optimus still has our respect on that part. And all of a sudden when he goes down there, Optimus he's keeping in contact. He's at least doing that much with him, and he tells him as the further he gets down, his contact signal goes out. He goes, beware. He goes, Optimus, beware. Bzz. Yeah, this is madness. What was I thinking? Even I found What was I thinking? Even if I find Megatron, what then? I can't. And all of a sudden he takes a blow to the head, and a blast comes up by the source. It says. You know, he runs into the Insecticons. A huge battle ensues. He goes, wait. If Megatron wants me, I won't resist, he tells him. Take me to him. Oh, he wants you. He wants your twitching corpse, he tells him. And in this battle, he forces Optimus down to the bottom of the depths. He's got to get up, got to get moving, he says, because remember his soldier training. And back in Iacon, the Autobots are without a leader, any direction. So in the Iacon, the High Council of Billions, in the Decagon, I guess that's their version of the Pentagon, we see Jazz, Bumblebee, and Prowl. You just let, and to ask Prowl, he goes, you just let him go. He was adamant we're to accelerate the evacuation and proceed directly to the staging point. He said he'd join us there. This isn't good, Bumblebee says. We may not agree with him, but he is the Prime. We can't just. Jazz says, hey, incoming, a whole mess of incoming. One of the Autobots says, outlying defenses have been engaged. There's something else, a broadband transmission, and we see this great picture of a familiar face, a wonderful villain. He goes, Autobots, the hour of your eradication is at hand. That's Soundwave, one of the baddest Decepticons on the planet. Well, the story switches back to Cybertron, and we find a survivor. There is one survivor of this battle here, the all-so-awesome Grimlock. And they managed to get a hold of him saying, Grimlock! This voice comes out, Grimlock, is it you? I thought I recognized that gargantuan knuckle-scraping figure. Even at altitude of 30K. It's Starscream and the Seekers. Yeah. So what's all this? Nostalgia? Remembering the good old days, he says? Good old days. Ha! And we see Starscream and Thundercracker and them over here. He says, when I used to beat your face into tempered pulp, Starscream, because Grimlock, he's a T-Rex. I mean, he's not going to put up with Starscream's crap. And this is now. We're Decepticons, and these days Cybertron is ours, for taking or breaking. Think you can stop us, or and that ragtag band of Autobot no-hopers? You know I never could work out why you did throw in with Optimus Prime and not Megatron. Time was you were with us in the arena. The heat of the battle, the thunder in your audio receptors, the dark elect release of the kill. And he's reminding him how they used to fight while they're fighting, and he just, he's like, I don't understand why someone like you is with Prime. You don't like playing by the rules. Why are you playing by the authorities' rules? And Grimlock just gives him the biggest punch to the face. I mean, the two traitors, or what you would consider traitors, and it goes into a long playback here of when they were in the arena, and Grimlock just basically tells him, well, I did it for the joy of busting heads, but I couldn't do it. He says, I'm built for fighting, basically. And whoever gives that to me, that's who I'm with. And we see here in this issue that he caused a lot of problems for Megatron, and he wanted to get a hold of him. From day one, it's been about pain, he tells him. The Autobots, are the reason why. And we see Starscream here. He's after Grimlock has just beaten the snot out of him, he says, not insurgents, not conquest, not terror, just pain. Starscream tells him, there's a better way to do this. It's Megatron's war of controlling us, the arena, the forge, this branding pit. We've been gradually conditioned, tempered. We inflict pain. We take it, no question. It's what it is to be a Decepticon. Like now, the three of us deep in Autobot territory with orders to secure a heavily fortified command post. Will you shut up, Starscream, Thundercracker says. We failed because you told Grimlock exactly what we were doing. And we still, they kept the part where Starscream's sort of an idiot. And he goes, you couldn't resist baiting him. You couldn't just get the job done quick and clearly. If I had warped us out of there, we'd all be. If I hadn't warped us out of there, we'd all be in tiny bits. Like he just beat the snot out of him and warped everyone out. He goes, come on, Thundercracker, let's get back to Kulagar before the loser drags us down with him. And he goes, it was an exercise in pain management from the get-go. Am I right, Skywarp? Stars. I mean, he just goes on and tells him what he thinks about this whole situation. You know what I think, Starscream, he says? I think maybe you've grown a little too fond of the pain. So he's basically telling him to shut up. Do your job, get it done, and let's get out of here. Well, we find ourselves below, back in Chaos. Megatron's asking for a status report from his flunkies. Report from Starscream, from Soundwave particularly, is the Prime still functions, Lord Megatron. We are pursuing. My instructions were explicit. Do not toy with him. I understand this, Soundwave. Here now, we stand poised on the brink of total victory. One small misstep, and it will all come to nothing. It wasn't Optimus Prime I want. What he carries within. Soon, Lord Megatron, soon. So we find, Soundwave is one of my favorite people too. He's a great little lackey. Well, anyway, continuing on with this one, we find ourselves back with Optimus Prime in the depths of Cybertron. And this voice says, "Revenge has the scent." It says, "Ravage has the scent." Sorry, it looks like revenge. But anyway, we find ourselves. He's looking through here. He's going through the depths of Cybertron. This place, I had no idea, no concept. Icon, the surface war done. The surface war is done here. We see these pools of blood from the planet. It all seems very distant. He says this idea of this place is calm. There's no war here. It's just clear, molten lava. Because all of a sudden, a hand comes to the side of it, and we see, what you are not alone. He says. And this hand, it's his own hand from the planet, and the Matrix is trying to talk to him. You are a part of something far greater than you realize, Optimus Prime. I think that fall did more damage than I realized. This is a out-of-body experience, a message, I guess you will, and he just isn't ready to accept that possibility. Here within Cybertron, we have a voice. Ask yourself, why did you come down here alone? And this is the the mirror image of him saying this. He goes, you know, well, I did not wish to send any more Autobots to their deaths. The explosion, Megatron. He goes, he looks at himself in this mirror. And he goes, you came because there is a need to understand, to grasp the meaning and importance of this world before you give it up. We are you. We are those who came before, seeking the same answers. So he goes, I'm talking to myself, right? If you really are this kind of inner voice, do you have any words of wisdom? Just two. That voice tells him. Behind you. And we see a picture of Ravage coming right at it. These awesome pictures of books. And back on the Icon Capital, we have Shockwave. This awesome picture, blasting his way through there. He goes, no mercy, no quarter, eradicate them all. I, Shockwave, claim Icon in the name of Megatron and the Decepticons. So he's blasting his way through these Autobots. I mean, he's the epitome of the elite Decepticon. And the Autobots over here in their capital. This is what the Autobots, the Decepticons are attacking, is actually their strongest point on the planet. He goes, the border defenses are being overrun. They're coming at us from all sides. The Decagon. I hear you, Trax. All units, commanders, fall back to the sub-perimeter 6 and prepare to detonate mines on my signal. So he's basically, they're attacking the strongest point of their defenses. If you've ever played a war game, or you're in the military, you know you never hit the enemy where they're strongest. And the Decepticons are doing this. They don't quite understand what their plan is. Well, anyway, back below, we find Optimus still fighting Ravage, and back and forth. He goes, "Be gone," until finally Optimus just beats him down. He goes, "Be gone," until his friends get here at least. All right. So at the same time, we find Megatron monitoring the battle, just like the Autobots doing. Megatron, what exactly are you up to? Starscream asks him. Obviously, he made his way back. He goes, first you send me out on some pointless mission, then I come back to find we're trying to take Icon, which, by the way, we decided a while back was a tactical no-no. Because, I mean, it'd be the equivalent of someone trying to take Washington, D.C. Can't be done just off the bat. Call me paranoid, but I kind of get the impression you're cutting me out of the loop. And we see him turn around and his eyes just sort of glare at him, and he's about ready to hurt him or do something bad. Long ago, before all this, I saw another side of Cybertron, Megatron tells Starscream. Thoughts, though its origins are lost in the planet, clearly this planet was once mobile, a living starship. The engines I uncovered were derelict, the technology, alien, and potentially huge. So he's telling him that Cybertron is basically a spaceship, like I said. But any concentrated attempt to implement a repair program would have been detected. So he's telling them, I want to make this starship function again. I want to take over the galaxy. And this starship, this planet, if I were to go ahead and fix the engines, there'd be a problem with it. I wouldn't be able to do it alone, and the Autobots would stop me. Now they're all destructed, and I can fix the engines. The only thing missing is a power source. And the only thing powerful enough to activate is the matrix of leadership. The thing that Optimus, the very proof that Optimus is the prime. And all of a sudden Starscream goes, the matrix, that silly, it's a ceremonial bauble, a zealous light show for the faithful masses. There is no power source. You're chasing shadows, Megatron. So he's calling his leader an idiot for following a fairy tale. This is your great plan, your grand strategy. You've been deluded, Starscream, he tells him. Smacks him right across the face. He says, never question me. Again, it starts the whole, don't mess with Megatron. The Matrix is more than you realize, he tells him. Lord Megatron. And all of a sudden, Soundwave has Optimus. They've managed to. They're in the middle of trying to capture Optimus. He goes, Lord Megatron, the Prime. Soundwave. Ugh, Say it in person. Optimus tells him. He goes, oh dear, things are not quite going your way, are they, Megatron? do not test me, Starscream. I may not be so benevolent next time. So he's saying, you know, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth, Starscream. I'm the one in charge here. We have Grimlock, who's been sent in this little part right here. Grimlock is being sent on the one mission he doesn't want to do. He's sent to go find the Prime. And he tells him, he goes, negative. He goes, as for you, Grimlock, I've got a special mission for you. He goes, and you're not going to like it. So we know what that mission is. He's going to go and look for Optimus. Well, we find Optimus in the right below Icon, where he comes face to face for the first time with a battle-ready Megatron. Right here. He goes, you have something I want. He comes down here and tells Optimus. He goes, the Matrix, yes. I never knew until now. Down here I can feel it, like a living presence, a voice from prehistory. You realize I can never let you possess it. I will die first. That's close enough. Better tread careful, Megatron. It's a long way down. You'll kill us both, he tells him. No, he goes, no, I won't. He goes, no, I think not. You see, I have someone in the ring. So Starscream is backing him up. He goes, it's all about pain, Megatron. Pain. And Starscream basically destroys the bridge and sends them down into the depths of the planet. Alright, guys. Well, that is it for part 2 of The War Within. As I said, I love this story, and I'm sorry it took so long. But I'll be getting part 3 to you here pretty soon. And like I said, this is Redneck Reviews, and that's your back in time review from me, Robert Lawrence. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.